at all. And as for the clubs in this country, and indeed the Football Association at the time, there was no interest in developing or getting involved with the game at all. So for me, it was about the most fundamental thing you can have in football, and that is enjoyment and fun. I played football because I was born into a mad footballing family who moved from Liverpool to Wigan in the mid-60s, crazy about football, and I didn't get a choice as a kid. But not only did I want to experience it on the radio and on the TV, I wanted to play it. So my learning experience wasn't being coached through some, as a youngster. My experience was to get a football out on the drive with my dad and try and do my best to beat him. Now, I actually got into a lot of trouble a couple of years ago because I gave an interview saying that my dad made it easy. And he called me up and he heard this interview on FA TV and he said, "I'm very disappointed in what you said there, because actually I made it bloody hard for you and I only let you win when you deserved to win." And I'm really glad he did that, because that was probably the start of something that said actually things don't come easy, you do have to work at them, and even if you can't see the end goal, or there isn't an end goal possible, if you believe in something strongly enough and you believe you want to change the world and make it a different place in which you can fully function as a footballer, then you have to work down hard on and off the pitch to achieve it. Now, I got very, very fortunate because I went to specialist schools, one in Liverpool and one in Worcester. At the first specialist school in Liverpool, I had a fantastic teacher called Ron De La Cruz, and Ron De La Cruz decided he had to find a way for the kids to play football. His first effort wasn't overly successful. He put rice inside a football, which worked for about 5 minutes, and then it all went soggy and it went quiet and we didn't have a clue where the ball was. So we had to find another way. So what we did was he used little ball bearings that he used, I believe he used for fishing. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest, but little light ball bearings, put them inside the ball, blew the ball back up, the ball bearings rattled against the side, made a great noise. We knew where the ball was and we could play football. And we did, every hour that God sent, we were out there kicking the ball around. I then went to secondary school, not overly far from here, in Worcester, and that was forgive the pun, but a hell of an eye-opener for me, because as a 12-year-old kid turning up there with no sight, I was playing football against partially sighted kids of 12 to 18 years old who gave no quarter at all, and I had to learn how to control the ball in the way you saw in that video, how to hold the ball, how to be useful within the game, because you know, in that environment, when you're playing against sort of two potential things that are better than you, both in terms of the amount of eyesight you've got and the age and strength and ability you've got, you need to be useful within the game and also protect the ball. And I learnt that, and I think I scored the first goal with the ball going in off my backside, which is, I'll still claim it, obviously. But then, of course, you start to build into that environment, and you know, I think one of the things we perhaps need to give consideration to is the environments that our kids play now are very, very controlled and for very good reasons. But sometimes we just got to let it happen, and it just happened for me. And as a result of playing in those environments, a mixture of just kicking a ball around, competitive games, playing for fun, playing to get better, just made me a better footballer. So all the stuff you see on the video there, the control, the underside of the foot, creating space by deceiving the defenders and little drag backs and all that kind of stuff, all came from learning football in that environment. But at that point, there's still no purpose to it. Because although I played for the school, we played against the odd other specialist school, we played against the odd specialist blind sports club, there was still no purpose because there was no game to play. There was no clubs, there was no international structure, there was nothing. So actually, age 17, I played a sport called goalball, which is another Paralympic sport, for 10 years. Knowing I loved football, knowing I wanted the opportunity to play international football, knowing that I wouldn't mind playing just club football, but it not existing. And then in 1995, the powers that be, the International Blind Sports Association, got together and pulled together a game that was going to be played as one round the world, which is based on the game of futsal, which I'm sure many people in this room will understand the qualities of. It's a game in which you receive the ball under pressure. It's a game that keeps the ball on the floor, maximises skill, and is a really fantastic game to watch. And that is the game that we took forward within the blind football movement right across all the continents.